do your master's, do your PhD, become a scientist. That is one career path. That is an obvious choice that a lot of people from ICT choose to do. A lot.
Welcome back to Engineering Aajkal. I'll start by introducing the person we're going to talk today. Her name is Prachi Jha. She's an engineer and has done her bachelor's in surface coating technology. And now she works in BASF. So Prachi, I'll start with the first question. Why engineering?
So when I was in school in around 10th standard, I was a good student of science. And my school also sort of encouraged experiential learning, So with science, that works perfectly well for you. So when we went to 11th standard, there was this big question of whether to take up medicine or to take up engineering. Now, for me, I was really fond of chemistry and I was also really fond of maths. So it was like a no-brainer to take up engineering. So I think the answer is almost the same for most engineers out there.
Can you tell us more about the surface coating technology? Because, it's kind of an offbeat subject.
For me, actually, I really wanted to get into the Institute of Chemical Technology. That was like my, the college I really wanted to study at. And beside, polymer was one subject that I thoroughly enjoyed. So that is why I took up surface coating. What is surface coating? Well, it's quite fascinating. It's a very vast subject. It has a lot to do with surface technology and engineering at the same time. So right from understanding color physics and the kind of visual that you can create using it, to going ahead and synthesizing functional surface materials and understanding the chemistry behind it. It's quite vast.
What are the kind of growth opportunities that is there with, surface coating?
If you look at just the branch by itself, I think the number of opportunities are ample because it is, as I mentioned, it's one of the sister concerns of polymer technology. So you can go ahead, do your master's, do your PhD, become a scientist. That is one career path. That is an obvious choice that a lot of people from ICT choose to do. A lot of my friends are pursuing it. The other one is where you step into the industry like I did and then sort of, understand the pulse of the industry and grow accordingly. So for me, based on the kind of projects I get, every project is a new learning experience.
You have done curation and licensing for TEDx. So what was that about?
The beginning of second year, I realized that our university hosts a TEDx event. So for me, that was like a big deal. So I immediately went and signed up for it as a volunteer. And for that entire year, we worked relentlessly on making sure that the event is a success. Because somewhere you also build the brand of your university through the talks that you curate, right? So that entire experience of a year left me, so happy that I decided that in my third year, I'm going to at least try and apply for this curator licensee post and see if I get it. So luckily for me, it worked out and I got the post.
You're currently working at BASF. It's a aspirational company, like especially for metallurgical, chemical, and such engineers. How did you manage to score such a job in such a company? Was it through placement or you just found a source and went with it? And tell me about the whole selection process and the interview.
BASF India Limited came on campus and they were recruiting for their flagship Grow Trainee program. So where they, pick students from universities across the country, about, say 15 of them, and then they train them for about a year. To take up roles later on in the industry. So I was one of those students who was picked straight out of college. Yes, it is an aspirational company. In fact, it was a dream job on campus. The selection procedure was quite rigorous, to be honest. It started off with a CV shortlisting and then it went on with 2 rounds of technical interviews, followed by an aptitude test, if I recall correctly. Then there was a group discussion round and then there were about 3 rounds of interview. So it was quite lengthy, the entire process. And at the end of it all, they selected one student from the campus. So it was almost like a dream come true for me to, be associated with a brand such as BASF, because it was, of course, a dream job.
So what are the 3 to 4 skills that a person need to like land such job?
One is, of course, communication skills. You should be able to, get your point across in the right manner possible. But the most important part, I would say, is an in-depth knowledge of your domain, right? So I was a surface coating technologist, and they were hiring for a polymer technologist, really. So because surface coating is like the sister branch of polymers, and we also sort of study a lot of polymer science. I had my concepts in the right place, maybe, and so I ended up getting the job. So an in-depth knowledge of the subject and communication skills, I think, really do the trick.
Can you just tell us about this job role and what do you do there?
BASF is divided into several business units, and each of these business units is largely driven by the kind of industry they are looking at. So for me, we are associated with industries related to polymers and allied industries. So within Performance Materials, which is my business unit, I am dealing currently with the consumer furniture business as a product and market development engineer. Now, these are 2 very separate roles, if you ask me, and very different from one another. But again, at the same time, they're also very, very engaging. The product development aspect of it is a highly technical role. Where you are expected to sort of understand the requirement of the customer in terms of chemistry and in terms of the changes that need to be made to the formulation. So it's a very lab-driven role. While market development is something where you need an in-depth knowledge of your products, and then you need to find markets where your products have not already been pitched, and you sort of pitch your products there. This is a B2B role, right? We are a business and we cater to other businesses. So as a consumer furniture business, we look at industries that are typically into, say, the memory foam industry, that are typically into the mattress industry. So these are the customers that we typically look at, and their requirement comes in directly from the end consumer's feedback. So basically, we work on implementing what the end consumer wants.
Currently, the whole COVID situation is happening. So how has that affected your work and like basically the industry also?
I wouldn't lie, really. The COVID-19 situation has really taken the world by storm. And initially, when the lockdown was announced, we were all equally clueless, both from the personal aspect as well as from the professional aspect. But eventually, I think in the past 2 weeks, as a business and even as a team, thanks to the great leaders that we have in our organization, we've managed to sort of, make the best use of this time in trying to get back to our books, trying to sort of, get things rolling, making sure that, as BASF, we make some sort of an effort and contribution in easing out the situation out there, with COVID-19. So that's the current scenario with business.
So can you tell us a little more about the work culture in BASF? Because I understand work culture is a very important aspect for anyone, especially engineer.
For engineers like me, I think the work culture of a place really plays a very important role. At least for me, it does. Because I am just 2 years into the industry, and for me, everything is a new learning experience, right? So in such a situation, when you have a senior person from the industry come in and spend time with you, come in and make sure that you learn from him as much as you would like to, in itself is like a great effort from the person as well as from the organization. And that's not something that can be seen on a daily basis from every individual out there. So with BASF, that has been one amazing experience. Plus, when you have such experiences in an organization, that just sort of keeps you moving towards learning more.
Is there any advice or something that you like to give students who are currently doing engineering and probably have no clue of what to do?
This time that the students have is probably the time of our lives, if you come to think of it. positive or negative, that's for you to decide. But the reason I say this is because the amount of time that we have on hand to figure ourselves out, to learn a new skill that we have always wanted to but have not really gotten around doing, this time is really precious. And I think to all those students out there, I would say that make the best use of this time while staying inside your homes, and making sure that you do not become a source of COVID-19. Having said that, yes, and also please try and make your contribution to the society if you can, while staying quarantined.
Don't worry, and thank you so much for being part of this. I am sure students will learn something from this.
So much for your time. Yeah, thanks a ton.